Wednesday 20th September 2023. Rainy, murky old day in Rosebery. Mountains have got their heads in the clouds again. More from Rosebery, Mount Murchison. Going to start the day with a short walk around Rosebery, and there are 2 or 3 videos that show just how quickly this skyline changes, or this sky type changes. Certainly good news. You'll be able to get your tattoos in Rosebery from mid-November. Yeah, used to be able to get some hot food and perhaps a milkshake. Not sure what that building is, I'd have to have a bit of a look, but it's undergoing some renovations, it would seem. And more of Mount Murchison and Cloudy Tops. And now we have the Top Pub. We dined there when we stayed here in 2019. Also an interesting experience. Garlic prawns my wife had there. Apparently the worst she's ever had. We don't complain. We just don't go back. The experience didn't kill us, so just put it down to part of the experience of life itself. Of course, everywhere you go in a town like this, there's monuments to mining. Up there, cut into the hills, processing plant. The man in the bakery said lead, silver, zinc. Not being au fait with that type of thing and what can be processed with what gear. I'll look it up at some stage. This is a 24-hour operation. Lots of high-vis. Just talking to a dude at the service station. He tells me gold, lead, silver, zinc coming from an underground mine. 30 Land Cruisers go under each day. So I guess that could have been what the really dirty Land Cruisers I saw yesterday were. Not too sure you could pay me enough to go underground, but each to their own. Here's a nice bus. We could buy that and renovate it. Rosebery Cabin and Tourist Park. Pretty much serves the mine. Lots of cabins. There's only a couple of vans here. No big traffic, but quite a few mining contractors and people in that game. Park's adequate but dated. It's for sale. I could see you making a bit of money here. A lot of cabins servicing the miners and the contractors. Certainly no complaints here. We find it a great place to base ourselves at and radiate out from. That would be the Stitt River in Rosebery, or running through Rosebery. Someone says river water not fit for swimming in or drinking. She's got a bit of action this morning. She's up a bit after all that rain last night, with those very adjacent hills behind me. There's spilling, no doubt, quite a bit of water in this direction, no doubt other directions as well. Just come back and examine the colour of some of this staining that the water's bringing. Day 53 on the road for us. Just hooked up now and ready to leave Rosebery. We spent 3 nights here. Quite like Rosebery. We'll move from here to Strahan. We are in the west, obviously, of Tasmania. Strahan is another interesting tourist town. We visited there yesterday to make sure we can get the gear in, because some places are pretty small. I'd put Strahan in an expensive category due to being driven by that tourist demand and dollar. A lot of rain here last night. Big winds. There was lots of wind warnings on various sites for gusts up to 100 kilometres an hour. Supposedly continuing this morning. We've just got some fast moving clouds now, the occasional shower, and no wind as yet, but the wind yesterday was savage. It was a little bit of a concern thinking about having to tow into and across that today, but hopefully we'll avoid that now. Road's going to be slippery. This is from a lookout between Strahan and Zeehan. You probably need a 4-wheel drive to get up there due to a lot of lack of maintenance. However, that beach out there is the one that you'd be walking on should you choose to walk from Trial Harbour down to Macquarie Heads and Strahan and so on and so forth. The Henty Dunes is not too far from where we are as well. Henty Dunes is a tourist attraction. Very, very big piles of sand, basically. So coming up, we have a look around Strahan before we get into Macquarie Harbour and surrounds.